What's going on, Socialites? Welcome to the Global Pokémon Society Draft League Season 6 Finals. As the number 1 seed, undefeated, Denver Ninetales takes on the number 3 seed, Memphis Mews. History will be made today. Will Denver get the greatest season in Society history, going 10-0 in the regular season, 54 differential points, breaking a record for most games won in a single season and the highest differential per win? Or will the Memphis Mews become the first team from the minor leagues to hoist that GPS trophy? Before we get into the battles, let's take a look at the team, starting with your undefeated Denver Ninetales. First up, representing the Denver Ninetales, their X-tier Melmetal. You'll see the sets on the left side that will be used in the finals, so you can comment on those, you can make them yourself, whatever you want to do. In the regular season, Melmetal only appearing in 5 games, so not brought a lot, but when he did show up, he made an impact, 9 KOs and only 3 feints. Next up is Denver's S tier, the mighty Incineroar. This Pokemon in the regular season showed up in 14 games, getting 5 KOs and 4 feints. It's been a lot more offensive in this playoffs. If you look back at the Pittsburgh game, a surprise Dynamax really helped in the semifinals. We'll have to see how Incineroar is used in this capacity. Next is Denver's A tier, the Rotom-Wash, appearing in 13 games, picking up 13 KOs and only fainting 3 times. You're going to see a trend with Denver's Pokemon, high KOs, low feints. That's how they remained undefeated all season. Next is the mascot themselves, Alolan Ninetales. During the regular season, this hail setter appeared in 12 games, picking up 9 KOs and 5 feints. But it really was the linchpin of Denver's strategy with the snow warning ability. Denver's next B tier is its KO leader on the team, Conkeldurr. This Trick Room Sweeper appeared in 10 games during the regular season, picking up a whopping 20 KOs and only fainting 2 times. We'll have to see if Conkeldurr makes some noise here in the playoffs. I definitely think that this finals will center around Trick Room for both teams. Denver's last B tier is the original Ghost-type Gengar, who only appeared in 5 games during the regular season, picking up 2 KOs and 4 feints, but has been more of a disruptive force here in the playoffs. We'll have to see how it plays in this finals. Now going into Denver's C tiers, we start with Arctozolt. This Pokemon appeared in the most games during the regular season for the Ninetales. 17 games played, 16 KOs and 6 feints. It was their hail sweeper, often pairing with Ninetales, but it could also operate under Trick Room thanks to that low 55 speed. Denver's next Pokemon is the ever crafty and annoying Klefki. This Pokemon during the regular season didn't see a lot of time in the spotlight, only 2 games played, 1 KO and 2 feints. Will the unique gameplay of the finals, allowing you to swap your entire teams between battles, allow Klefki to show off its disruption prowess? Jellicent was one of Denver's free agent pickups, and it really helped solidify their Trick Room strategy, appearing in 6 games during the regular season, picking up 3 KOs and 3 feints. We'll have to see what team wants to get the Trick Room up the most here. Both teams really utilize it very well. Lastly, rounding out the 10th spot in Denver squad is Alolan Exeggutor. This Pokemon only appeared in 1 game during the regular season, but didn't pick up any stats. So can Exeggutor finally make some noise in the finals? Now let's take a look at the Memphis Mews. Leading off, the Memphis Mews. their X tier. X is for Xerneas. This powerful offensive Pokemon appeared in 17 games, notching 16 KOs and 6 feints. Now, I will point out that it says Mental Herb on here. That was a typo. It is Power Herb to go with that Geomancy. Next is Memphis's S tier, the water fighting Urshifu-Rapid Strike. This Pokemon appeared in 9 games during the regular season, notching 9 KOs and 4 feints. Hasn't really been seen too much in this playoffs. Will the finals be Urshifu's time to shine? Memphis's S tier, the always sturdy Stakataka, one of Memphis's few Trick Room setters, appearing in 11 games during the regular season, notching 8 KOs and 6 feints. We'll have to see what sort of strategy Stakataka has alongside Trick Room in this finals. Going into Memphis's B tiers, we have Butterfree. This Pokemon allows Memphis to get their Geomancies or their Trick Rooms up easier thanks to the redirection of Rage Powder and the Sleep from Sleep Powder, appearing in 4 games during the regular season. No KOs, but 3 feints. But hey, that's what Butterfree does. Speaking of Sleep, we also have Jynx, appearing in 8 games during the regular season, picking up 2 KOs and 7 feints. Now, Jynx has seen a lot more play here in the playoffs, helping Memphis with those fake outs and Lovely Kiss. Rounding out the B tiers, we have Memphis's stellar Primarina, arguably their MVP of the team, playing in 15 games, notching 16 KOs and 5 feints. I'll have to see how Primarina can do it. Kind of has a middling speed tier for what I think will definitely be a Trick Room battle, so we'll see how that plays out. Another Pokemon that's really picked up play here in the playoffs, Escavalier, really carried Memphis in the semifinals, but during the regular season appeared in 3 games, notching 4 KOs and only 1 feint. You gotta make sure you have the fire types here. We'll have to see how Escavalier does if it can stand the heat. Another Pokemon that didn't appear in too many games over the regular season, but did very well in the first round of the playoffs for Memphis against the Driftvale City Dragapults, and is always a threat. Palossand appeared in 5 games during the regular season, notching 7 KOs and only 1 feint. I definitely think Palossand will be a nice play here in the finals. Next up in the C tiers, Electivire, Memphis's least touted member, only appearing in 1 game, not picking up any KOs and fainting. We'll have to see if Memphis decides to forego their Trick Room strategy and go for something hyper offense. We might see Electivire in that matchup. And lastly, but definitely not least, Memphis's favorite Trick Room setter, Dusknoir, during the regular season appeared in 12 games, 9 KOs and 5 feints. This bulky ghost type definitely helps Memphis in setting up that Trick Room that drives the strategy. We'll see if that strategy works out for them in this finals. So without further ado, those are the teams. Let's get into the finals matchup. Game 1, Denver Ninetales versus the Memphis Mews. Alright, Socialites, here we are getting ready for Game 1 of the Season 6 Global Pokémon Society Draft League Finals. It's the Denver Ninetales looking for that perfect season, going up against the Memphis Mews. As we see the teams here, I do want to remind everybody that the finals is a different format than what we regularly play. It is a best of 5, not a best of 3, a best of 5, and all 10 Pokemon from your team are available in between each match. They will quit out and then re-queue. We could see totally different strategies every game. It'll be very exciting. Let's see what Denver brought here, though, for Game 1. Melmetal, Incineroar, Rotom-Wash, Gengar, Jellicent, and Alolan Ninetales. Definitely more heavier on the Trick Room side, while Memphis brings Urshifu-Rapid Strike, Palossand, Primarina, Jynx, Dusknoir, and Escavalier. So I think both these teams definitely looking for some sort of Trick Room. It's just going to be who wants to be the setter and who wants to try to deny it. Looking at these teams here, I definitely think Denver has the better opportunity to deny the Trick Room. Let's see what they decide to bring here. Kevin, head coach of Memphis Mews, leads off with his standard set of Dusknoir and Jynx. So yes, he will be trying to get up the Trick Room here. And Denver, a nice counter lead to deny the Trick Room here. We have Incineroar and Gengar. Gengar, the fastest Pokemon in this finals, not including Arctozolt under Hail. We do see this is the role that Denver is going to play, going for the Imprison on Gengar. Ooh, and they did this in the first game of their semifinals too. We talked about this earlier when previewing the team, these surprise Incineroar Dynamax. I have to see, this could be a big turn. Now, did Jynx go? No, they did go for the fair. I was going to say, if they went for the lovely kiss, it definitely would have screwed things up. Gengar with the Imprison. Incineroar gets a big max flare off. Now, was Dusknoir going for that Trick Room? A critical hit here. Gain the sash. I don't think that mattered, that critical hit. Let's see if Dusknoir was going for the Trick Room. This could be... No, they did go for the Poltergeist. Onto Gengar. Gonna get hit by its Focus Sash. I think this will proc the Focus Sash. Yes, it will. Super critical hit from Dusknoir. So Dusknoir says, oh, you crit. You get an unnecessary crit to knock my Sash. I'll do the same to you. Ooh, in the harsh sunlight, we see that Jynx is running the Dry Skin ability, doesn't want to be in the sun, and that's actually going to be a KO there for Incineroar. Out comes Palossand here. Palossand, one of Memphis's favorite Dynamax users. It could be what we see here. Of course, the ground will do well against both Gengar and Incineroar. Oh, Palossand with the Protect. Gengar with the Ally Switch. If Dusknoir was going for a Shadow Sneak here, that'll definitely... Yes, it was the Shadow Sneak. He was trying to pick off Gengar. Not able to, though. Where's this Max Darkness going? It is going to Palossand. Not going to do a lot. And that's going to allow Palossand's weakness policy to be procced. Palossand very bulky on the physical side. And there's really not a lot of attack investment into this Incineroar, despite it being the Dynamax option here. Looks like Denver has a choice here with Gengar. Do they go for another Ally Switch? Like now, once you reveal Ally Switch, it's all mind games. So it all depends. Where do they think it's gonna go? Looks like they opt to stay in their current positions. And Memphis is thinking it over too. Alright, Memphis is going for the Dynamax here. This is gonna be Palossand. Big sandcastle. Dusknoir reads correctly, gets the Shadow Sneak off onto Gengar. Ooh, but the Cursed Body, so no more priority for Dusknoir. Incineroar goes with the Max Darkness yet again into Palossand. Not doing too much there. About 50%. Does get another special defense drop. Perhaps. hard to tell. We don't know. They could have been doubling into the slot. Ooh, and with the weakness policy, that knocks out Incineroar. So Memphis could be turning it around here. They now find themselves up 3 Pokemon to 2. Gengar's down. They can try and get their Trick Room up here. Denver sending out Melmetal and Rotom, the last 2 Pokemon. Now, does Memphis have the time to try and set up the Trick Room? Palossand is pretty low. Perhaps a max guard and setting up the Trick Room is the play here. No max guard, and the Shadow Ball from Rotom takes down Palossand. So both teams, Dynamax is getting 1 KO. Dusknoir, yep, Memphis doesn't think they have the time to set up the Trick Room. They go for the Poltergeist. But Rotom handles that very well, and big damage coming out from Melmetal. Almost taking on Dusknoir, getting it deep into the red here. And we see Memphis's last Pokemon is Primarina. Primarina facing down 2 Pokemon that it doesn't want to go up against here. Rotom with a Thunderbolt. Primarina, though, just able to hang on thanks to his special defense bulk, and Primarina is gonna fire right back with an Energy Ball, and that is enough to knock out Rotom. Oh, but Primarina has the Life Orb, and it takes itself down. So now it's a 1v1. As the Poltergeist on Melmetal so bulky, and the double Iron Bash finishes it off, and Denver takes game 1. What a game. No, they had a good anti-lead. Neither Dynamax really got rolling. We'll have to see how the teams switch things up going into game 2. Let me know, though. Pause for a second. Write a comment. Let me know what you thought about game 1. Was there anything Memphis could have done against that first lead? Like I said, it's hard to read into that surprise Dynamax, but maybe the Lovely Kiss would have been the play. Let's get into game 2 here. Alright, Socialites, we're here for game 2. There were some technical difficulties, i.e. Caitlin of the Denver Ninetales did not hit record for this game. But I know exactly what happened, so we're going to do a little GPS Society theater here. So as you see, the teams did switch up a little bit. Denver did not bring Jellicent and Exeggutor this time. They brought their Hail, Alolan Ninetales, and Arctozolt in for game 2. And Memphis dropped Urshifu and brought Xerneas. Other than that, the rest of their team is the same. So let's see how their strategies go. So Memphis leads off. They send out Jynx and Xerneas onto the battlefield. So they are trying to switch it up here. Not going for the Trick Room right away. Trying to get Xerneas going. Denver leads off with their Hail, though. And the Hail starts to fall here for the Denver Ninetales. And that is going to make Arctozolt the fastest thing on the battlefield. So Arctozolt goes for the Dynamax. He's getting big. You gotta move to the back, Arctozolt, because you are getting big. Xerneas protects the first turn. So Xerneas has a nice little shield right here. Arctozolt goes for a Max Lightning onto Xerneas. Not doing too much damage due to the protect, but he does get the electric terrain up. Now this is key because Jynx was like, don't you look like a snack over there, Arctozolt, and tried to give a lovely kiss, but it failed thanks to the electric terrain. Now, Ninetales, though, is confused what its teammate is doing here. And instead of trying to go for an attack or something, they were just like, oh, I'll try to Hypnosis Xerneas. Oh, wait, that failed too because electric terrain is up. So next turn, the Memphis Mews swap out Jynx into Dusknoir. They want to keep Jynx around a little bit more. Zolt goes for another Max Lightning. Zap, zap, zap. And that knocks out Xerneas. Not even a crit, just a clean on electric terrain. KO there. And then Ninetales gets a nice little Moon Blast. Bump onto Dusknoir, doing a little bit of damage. You know, every little bit of chip against Dusknoir is helpful. So now, Jynx is going to come back out here. Back on the field. Still can't kiss nothing. The electric terrain is up. But Jynx does go for the fake out onto Ninetales, which procs Ninetales' eject button, sending it back to the Ninetales, and Incineroar comes out, getting a nice Intimidate drop onto Dusknoir. Arctozolt goes for another Max Lightning, again boosted on the electric terrain, and actually gets a critical hit onto Dusknoir. Bop! And down goes Dusknoir. Just like that. So now, Memphis is down to their last two Pokemon here. As they send out Palossand. Denver still with all four of their Pokemon. Arctozolt's Dynamax does end though. So they got that going for them here. We can clean this up a little bit. Alright, so this next turn, Incineroar goes for the fake out onto Jynx. And Arctozolt with the Bolt Beak takes out Jynx. So Jynx goes down. Now it's a 4v1. Palossand is all that remains. It's gonna Dynamax, of course. It knows the end is nigh. Gets big, goes for Max Quake. Taking out Incineroar. Denver is going to send out Rotom-Wash. Zolt, still in the hail, gets a nice Icicle Crash off onto Palossand. That's going to proc the weakness policy, so now Palossand is at +2 attack and +2 special attack. Rotom hits it with a Hydro Pump, big damage. Activates the Water Compaction, so now Palossand has a +1 defense boost. However, it is already in the red, even as Dynamax goes for a Max Quake, takes out Arctozolt. During this turn, the hail and the electric terrain both end. And now, both Arctozolt and Incineroar have gone down. Denver sends out their last Pokemon. Ninetales gets the hail back up, and Ninetales with a Blizzard KOs Palossand. And with that, the Denver Ninetales take a huge 2-0 lead in the finals. Thanks for sitting through this lovely presentation. I promise Game 3 was recorded, so we'll hop into that one and the ones after that. Let's get going. Welcome back, Socialites, for Game 3 of the Global Pokémon Society Season 6 Finals. The Denver Ninetales going for the impossible, the perfect season. They find themselves up 2-0. They win this game. They win the championship and the perfect season. The Memphis Mews looking to stay alive here in the finals. It all comes down to this. Let's look at the teams. Denver bringing the same team from Game 2. Melmetal, Incineroar, Rotom-Wash, Gengar, Alolan, Ninetales, and Arctozolt. We'll have to see if they stick with the Hail lead. Memphis making a couple changes. They dropped Xerneas and Jynx from their last team, adding Stakataka is a new one. Palossand and Primarina returning. Butterfree is new to the finals. And then Dusknoir and Escavalier rounding it out. Gotta pull out all the tricks here if you're Memphis. See what Kevin, head coach of the Memphis Mews, leads off with Butterfree and Stakataka. Now remember, last season, Kevin was in the minors and he finds himself here in the finals fighting for the championship. Denver goes back to their Game 1 lead, Gengar and Incineroar. Now Memphis knows what they want to do with this lead. We'll have to see how they play around it. Incineroar gets the fake onto Butterfree. Butterfree revealing its eject button. Now was Stakataka trying to go for the Trick Room here. In Game 1, we know Gengar has that in prison. That's what it goes for here. Stakataka, though, doesn't make the correct play and goes for the Rock Slide. It is intimidated, doing some nice damage on those Pokemon despite the -1 attack. Curious now what Memphis will do here. Denver switching into Rotom. Oh, Stakataka gets swapped out. Back into Butterfree. Oh, and Palossand with the Protect, so this was just a repositioning turn. Not much else going on here. Butterfree gets back in. We'll be going for a Rage Powder here to protect Palossand. Gotta assume Palossand been Dynamaxed twice already. Memphis is 0-2. Are they going to go back to Palossand for the Dynamax again? Denver's going with the Dynamax, though. Rotom-Wash is going to be the play this time. Denver using 3 different Dynamaxes in all 3 games. Definitely keeping Memphis on their toes. And it looks like Memphis is going once again with Palossand. Palossand trying to redeem itself here. Can it lead the Mews to a win here in Game 3 and extend these finals? Gengar with the Shadow Ball. No Rage Powder from Butterfree. Ooh, Butterfree tanks that like a champ and gets the Sleep Powder off onto Rotom. That's huge. And Palossand with the Max Phantasm does knock out Gengar. So that Butterfree tanking the Shadow Ball. And now Memphis finds himself in a real good spot as Denver's Dynamax taking a nap. Incineroar comes back out. Gets a couple Intimidates off, but neither of these Pokemon are going to be physical attackers. Denver finds themselves in big trouble here. Their Dynamax basically shut down this game. Incineroar trying to buy some time. Ooh, Butterfree with the fake out. Wants to preserve as much HP as it can. Predicted the fake out with that protect. Rotom wakes up. That's huge. It goes for the Max Geyser. This could be big damage onto Palossand. And by big damage, I mean Palossand just got deleted. Wow. Expert Belt Rotom. Huge damage. Palossand not the bulkiest on the special defense. Maybe if they had gone for the Max Quake onto Gengar, but didn't want to risk another ally switch. Wow, just like that, Rotom is back in action. Stakataka comes out now. Butterfree, though, hits another Sleep Powder. So all in all, Memphis able to subdue Denver's Dynamax. Incineroar with the Darkest Lariat. This should take out Butterfree. Its sleep-inducing days are over. Stakataka, though, does get the Trick Room up. So now Memphis has the Trick Room up. Rotom is asleep yet again. Its Dynamax ends. If Memphis can get a turn or two of sleep here, they're in a really good position. The rain is up, so even Incineroar, Flare Blitz probably wouldn't be enough to take out Escavalier here. Incineroar's going to switch out. A nice play, trying to reset the Intimidates here on these two Pokemon. In comes Melmetal. Stakataka with the Rock Slide. Gets a double hit. Ooh, big damage on the Rotom. Escavalier with a Drill Run. Melmetal taking that. Rotom wakes up again, and it connects on a Hydro Pump. Knocking out Stakataka, and with that, Escavalier, the champion of the semifinals for Memphis, finds itself facing down. A 3-1 disadvantage. Denver on the verge of the perfect season of winning this championship. Rotom would not sleep this away. No, too exciting. It had to stay awake for this. Melmetal with the double Iron Bash. We find Melmetal is slower than Escavalier. That double Iron Bash gives it about a 51% chance to flinch. No flinch from Escavalier. Connects on a Mega Horn, which does take down Rotom. Rotom, which did so much through its willpower to keep Denver in this game. Incineroar comes in. It's going to get the Intimidate off onto Escavalier. Incineroar not going to play around. It's going to go for that fake out. Melmetal with the double Iron Bash. And with that fake out, inducing this flinch, we can call it, folks, the Denver Ninetales. 10-0 in the regular season. 54 points, the most ever on average. The perfect season, it is here. And their X-tier Melmetal. This is what Caitlin, head coach of the Denver Ninetales, had to say to me after this game. They wanted Melmetal to get the last hit here. He does. Down goes Escavalier. And the Denver Ninetales defeat the Memphis Mews in 3 games. The perfect season. The perfect finals. Congrats, of course, to Kevin and the Memphis Mews on a very hard-fought game. Hard-fought season. You know, coming from the minors to go 9-1 during the regular season, to make it all the way to the finals. Huge props to Kevin and the Memphis Mews. They're going to be a force in this society for a long time. But the Denver Ninetales, here since season 1. They made the finals in season 4, losing then to the Boston Braviers. They go into this season. They draft a very well-rounded, clutch team with some heavy hitters, some great support cast. Of course, we all know Incineroar. They don't get into that trap of the X tier all season. They use Melmetal when they need to. They use the Hail when they need to. They use Trick Room when they need to. All season, they get the perfect 10-0. Of course, every season since season 3, someone's gone perfect. But only one other team has gone the perfect season. As we said, that was when they lost to the Boston Braviers in season 4. But the Denver Ninetales, they get the greatest season in society history. Bar none. They win 10 games, the most ever in a season, 10-0. The most differential points, 5.4 differential points on average. And they cap it off here with a 3-0 sweep of the Memphis Mews. Congrats once again to the Denver Ninetales. We're not done though, folks. We still got the Season 6 All-Star Game. We'll wrap it up with a GPS tracking podcast. If you like this series, make sure to leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe, and as always, stay classy, society.